were already seated and having dinner with friends of hers, and they sat Terry and Heather right behind us, like right behind us at the next table. And we didn't see them because our backs were to them. And then our friends were like, oh, Heather and Terry just sat down. I was like, wait, what? And I looked and I was like, oh, snap. And then Kelly got her phone out and started, and all the headlines were, she was heckling them. She wasn't heckling them. She was just talking to her phone.
They couldn't even hear me.
She wasn't yelling at them or harassing them.
That's heckling. There's the, you know, the liberal media coming after me, that Screen Rant, that reality TV, they all come after me like in the worst way.
Yeah.
They knew you guys were there though, because you were pretty close, right?
I don't know if they knew. They knew at some point.
Well, they knew when I got up to go pee and I gave her a dirty look.
I just can't believe you run into them so much.
I know.
Still haven't spoken to them since we heard what they said to our friends, but you know, that day's coming.
And you get to see what she does this season, and she lies about it. Like she lies about everything and sends us to cease and desist because you're a public figure. Like, what does she think she can do? Like, you know, send me cease and desist. Like, it's ridiculous.
If you're going to be on a show like that, you need to have a thick skin. You're not going to last very long because there's so much stuff flying at you. And for her to come after Kelly for, you know, what you said was not that bad, but whatever.
Do you think, because you know, like there's all these, like, why do you think the call came to you that it was over for you? Like, do you think it was because of saying to Andy he was on the wrong side of politics? Or do you think it was like, why do you think it came? Or do you think it has to do with Heather?
I already know. I know 100% why I got fired. Because of politics. 100%. 100%. And they didn't like how I caused them grief. Like they were promoting heavily BLM, and I wore that Drunk Wives Matter hat. They said I was mocking them. I wasn't fucking mocking them. I mean, it's so bizarre to me that they can twist and turn things. I wasn't mocking them. It was given to me. I didn't buy the hat. I didn't sport the hat. I thought it was funny because it was a play on words. I'm a housewife. We get drunk. Drunk Wives Matter. It has anything to do with that group at all.
You've been upfront about
it just makes me so mad.
You said things that upset the network.
Oh, and then, you know, I traveled everywhere. They didn't like that I traveled because I went to go back to see him. I got stuck there. We were going out and
we went to Florida.
They didn't like that. They didn't like that I was
your tone.
My tone. They didn't like it. And I think a lot of people were outraged. And it was funny because I was just talking to one of my girls that work at Bravo, and she hung out with her at Shannon's house the other day, and she was like, so funny how there was a whole ban of people saying, we're going to ban the show. And she goes, and we had high ratings. We had higher ratings than anybody. And it was at the time where news was taking over and they were writing about it.
Yeah.
She was like, so, you know, but I do know people that are like-minded like myself are banning the show. Like those are the ones who have the money, who watch, you know, and advertisers should be paying attention. You know, that's just getting off in a tangent because it makes me so upset because I didn't go towards their narrative, and I knew it, by the way, because once you go and you tell people what your politics are, you're ruining half the country. Or half the
you're alienating.
You're an alienating.
But there are so many people who were so upset that Bravo let Kelly go because they all think that she was let go because of her politics and because it didn't line up with theirs. And people were outraged that someone who was true to themselves and someone who was actually real on a show that advertised people being real would be silenced and let go because she was so real. And it's not even that they're outraged that they're keeping, you know, this Jen Shaw. They keep people like Erica, you know, people that get DUIs like Gina, Teresa Giudice, who, you know, maybe it wasn't her that did it, was her husband, because I know her. But, you know, people that have been involved in the law, that have
committed real crimes,
But allegedly.
allegedly,
Yeah.
they can be on there, but somebody who has an opinion and who doesn't fit their narrative. And by the way, I'm not a Trumper. I never voted for Trump. And people just because I have more, and I'm a libertarian, I'm not even a I'm a conservative in fiscally, but I believe in gay rights. I believe in, if people want to go get an abortion, go get an abortion. So that has nothing to do with me. I'm socially liberal. So,
But your timing was
but
bad.
my timing was
Because
bad.
when you were being so honest about your feelings about the pandemic and shutting down and wearing masks and all this nonsense, and you were honest about it at a time when it was really
Raw.
not okay to be honest about it. Even today, like I've never seen the kind of censorship that we're seeing in America on social media and across the board. We've been seeing it for, a year and a half now, just people getting shut down because they dare to question the government. They dare to question the narrative.
I lived in China and Hong Kong for many years. And I can tell you, I would try to get on Facebook and it wouldn't let me on there. And if I feel like this is the direction our country is going into, like communism, because when you get silenced and you get censored, then you're in trouble.
And by the way,
I say that all the time when someone's like disagrees with me on social media. I'm like, it's okay. Like you can have your opinion. I mean, you're still entitled to for now. I think we're headed in a scary direction personally. Yes.
I just also wanted to say, I've never been a conspiracy theorist. I've always looked askance at conspiracy theorists.
As a matter of fact, you hate when people do conspiracy theorists on the 9/11.
When they talk conspiracy about 9/11, I lose my shit because I was there that day. I experienced it and I know what happened. I know the terrorists took down those towers. So when people go into these conspiracy theories, I always been like, shut up. But with this, what's happening in our country right now, not that I buy into all the conspiracy theories, but I do see something happening that I've never seen before. And I'm old, I'm 61 years old, and I worked in the news business for 35 years. I've never seen anything like what's happening and what's been happening over the last 12, 18 months of just like a censorship and a silencing and a shutting down. And if you say that, we're going to cancel your account. Well, nobody wants their Instagram or Twitter account to be canceled. So they're going to be careful. They're not going to say what they're really thinking, but why can't we? Like, why is this happening now? What's the greater reason why there's been all this suppression? I mean, look at just for a second about the vaccines. They don't keep you from getting COVID. They don't keep you from spreading COVID, and they don't keep you from dying from COVID. And yet we're being told we not only have to get vaccines, but we have to now get boosters every few months because they wear off. And we have to carry a card. Why do you have to carry a card to walk into a restaurant and show that you had a vaccine that doesn't even stop you from you could have a vaccine card and have COVID and give it to everyone in the restaurant. So what's the point of making people have that card?
And what happened with HIPAA laws? What happened with HIPAA laws? Now I have to show a vaccine. Well, even though we got vaccinated, which is probably worn off by now, but we had COVID too. So,
I'm beyond baffled at how this whole country is buying into this bullshit.
Not the whole country, not Florida.
Well, yeah,
not Arizona.
Why so many people are buying into this narrative and buying into this, we all have to get vaccinated. For what? Like, why? It doesn't even work. And by the way, there are also really bad side effects that hundreds of thousands of people have suffered.
Well, two of my girlfriends got Bell's palsy.
Bell's palsy.
Like this. And you saw Julie.
She came over here.
She's like this. I want to get her on so she can talk about and she's had it for 6 months. My other one got over it in 2. But my girlfriend's like this right now, like this. My other girlfriend got myocarditis. People I know, I don't know anybody that. And then my friend Doug Reinhardt's dad, John Reinhardt, he was on the Hills. His dad died of the shot. He had clots, and as soon as he took that